This is going to sound very conceited, but I don't really have a lot of moments that made me doubt my voice. I can think of one time in particular that really got me and actually was probably one of the catalysts that caused me to leave a company that I had been with for 12 years. We were getting ready to make a major decision on software, and I had done my research. I had called multiple people who were considering or who had used the new one we were going to, and they all had told me how terrible it was and how it affected the sales part of the organization. Yet the operations part of my organization was saying it was going to save us like $2 million. And they set me up for failure in a senior management meeting by telling everybody that if we went with the new one, everybody would get bigger bonuses. So regardless of the research that I had done, it just made me look like an idiot because everybody, of course, voted on the new one because they thought they were going to get more money. So I essentially was the only person that voted against the new one. Well, not that I'm always right, but in the particular exact way that everybody explained to me happened to them by switching, happened to us, in that we lost a lot of money and we ended up scrapping it about a year in. So nobody got bonuses, including me, who, it was just unfortunate. And I felt a little bit sabotaged. And I realized that whether you're a man or a woman, it doesn't really matter. If someone wants to sabotage you, they're going to sabotage you. I mean, I am in a business that is probably predominantly male when it comes to C-suite level folks in the mortgage industry, but I don't really notice that. I haven't had an issue. I never really have felt like I had to tone it down per se, because I think I have always been uniquely me. And I feel like you either really like it or you really don't like it. And I cannot hide from who I am. I had an instance once where, this is kind of weird, but a person, Tom, who you guys have heard me mention before, said to me, listen, when you're speaking with a married couple, always talk to the woman. He goes, you're very touchy-feely, open, and, I talk with my hands. And he's like, Millie was really upset that you were focusing on Bob. These are real names. I probably shouldn't say it, but they're long gone, I'm sure. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he just basically kind of forewarned me to be careful in a relationship that I'm talking to, like in a sexual way, which I thought was really weird because I never, ever meant it that way. So for a while, I toned it down because I thought, I was self-conscious about it. I thought, oh my gosh, am I too touchy-feely? And when he said touchy-feely, it's like, I am. Like, I want to give you a hug and I'll reach my hand and put it on your shoulder or something like that. So I have learned through the years to summarize very quickly someone's personality profile so that I can better speak with them in the language that they would like to hear from. I've learned that through my time with Keller Williams and doing DISC assessments and KPAs and things of that nature, because we speak to people the way we want to speak here, when in fact, in order to get the point across or to be closer to those folks, you need to speak in the way they want to hear. So, for example, my husband would be considered a high C. And when he tells a story, it's every single inch of every single minute of every single second of a story. And I'm like a high D, and I'm like, hurry up, get to the point. So I've had to learn that, I could be in the midst of an amazing story, getting to an amazing plot with him, and he'll say, well, what color was the stop sign or something like that? And I'll be like, oh. Anyways, that's just an example. I've had to learn how to communicate with people the way that they like to be communicated with. One thing I know about leadership that no one prepared me for is that it's serving. I mean, in order to be a leader, you really have to say to yourself, am I ready to serve the group or the people that have been chosen to serve? And it's a lot of pressure in regards to hoping that you are serving them to help them grow and to help them be who they ultimately want to be. I mean, you grow up and you hear about leadership. And I heard something yesterday that really resonated with me. We used to want people used to have reverence and say, when I grow up, I want to be president or I want to be this or that. And today, if we asked people, they'd want to be an influencer or things that we just don't really. It's sad. I know I don't want to sound old and haughty, but it is sad. Like, We don't have reverence for the president of the United States any longer. We revere sports people, musicians, influencers more than people who have really earned and have shown up as true leaders. So that part scares me a little bit. If a young woman said to me, I'm not sure I'm qualified to lead, I would say we're all leaders. Everyone is a leader in one way, shape, or form. As you grow, if you choose to have children, then you're going to be leading a family. Even as friends, like friends influence each other and serve each other. So I would encourage anybody to look at leadership more as a servanthood as opposed to a hierarchy, because I just don't look at it that way. I think we are all called to serve. And that is, anybody is a leader and can be, you're a leader of your day-to-day life, which is possibly where a lot of us fall short. An example, your daily schedule. If you serve yourself properly and make sure that you're doing the things you need to do to earn the living that you want to earn, you're leading your daily schedule. And that is something that everybody leads. I just would encourage anybody not to think of it as a hierarchy, but to think of it as serving. So this is messy but fabulous. I love you and mean it.